Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and let's talk about everyone's favorite thing to talk about when it comes to the Switch 2 these days, and that is game keycards. I'm sure most of you all have already heard by now that at a Nintendo's investor meeting they were asked about the game keycards and what that might do for sales, especially because we've already talked about the third-party sales lagging on the Nintendo Switch 2. And, we've discussed a couple things like, one, game key cards. Nintendo has conditioned us Nintendo fans to want physical copies of things. And then also, these are older games. They're nothing really new. Might be new to people who've only owned a Switch and not a PlayStation or an Xbox or a PC. So, just kind of one of those things. But it was brought up at the investors meeting about the game key cards and really only third parties using them. And, the Nintendo CEO, he just kind of gave we're committed to third party and things like that. And with the larger memory of the Switch 2, we're able to do these things. Excuse me. We're able to do these things for the third party so they don't have to buy the carts and spend the reportedly $13 to $17, not $70 on the cart. And so that just gives another way for third parties that they can have a retail presence as well as a digital presence, which in a sense is a good thing. But at the same time, I've already talked about this at one point, with game key cards. We've been using game key cards basically since the PS4, Xbox One generation, because you literally have to download the entire game from the disc and some also from the internet, depending on the game, to your system in order to play it. You can't just pop the disc in and play it directly from the disc. So in a sense, even though the game was on the disc, it's still like a key card because you got to download the whole damn thing to your system before you can even play it. But people are bothered by it because there's nothing on the cart kind of thing. So that got me thinking more and more about the key cards and just kind of my thoughts when it comes to third-party games on the Switch currently. Like I said, I've really only been tempted by two, technically three. I have been tempted to get Cyberpunk 2077. I have played through it on my Xbox One, but I did not get the downloadable content. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to buy the game for the Switch 2 and play. And I would have then the downloadable content, because then I could choose a different path for the game, and because that's what I was going to do anyways. I just never got back to it. I was going to do a New Game Plus and pick a different path for my character. So I was like, this would be the perfect time to do that. And then also I was thinking about Street Fighter Years 1 and 2. I did have Street Fighter 6 on my Xbox, and I did sell it because I didn't play it that much, so that's kind of why I didn't get Street Fighter 6 Season 1 and 2. And then Sonic Generations. I haven't picked that up yet. And I've been debating it. I did like the first Sonic Generation, so Sonic Generations plus Shadows, especially with Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow. That'd be two Keanu Reeves games I'd be buying if I bought both that and Cyberpunk. So it was just one of those things kicking around. But I chose not to currently because my backlog is so big right now. And I'm just I don't need to continue adding to it because I thought about picking up Death Stranding, but I'm no, backlog, gotta wait. The only new game that's not Game Pass that I'm going to be picking up soon is going to be Metal Gear Solid and Donkey Kong Bonanza, just because I really want to play both those games. So yeah, the backlog thing. But going back to the key cards, and I've just been kind of thinking about the key cards here. And my thought originally was, if I got to buy a key card, I might as well just download the damn game. Just get it from the eShop, not even worry about a key card. Because that way, one thing that's nice about having digital games, especially if you're a streamer, is you don't have to get up to switch games. You just go into your menu, you switch the game. You don't have to get up, go get the disc or the card, walk over to your system, put them in. Because let's face it, fellow Switch owners, whether it's Switch 1 or Switch 2, switching out games when it's docked, especially if you're like me and your system isn't sitting above the TV, it's sitting in an entertainment system, switching out that cart when you got a little roof over it, kind of pain in the ass. So it has got me thinking about maybe this generation for the Switch, I'm going to go mostly digital. If they don't offer me an actual physical game instead of buying the key card, since I'm downloading it anyways, might as well get it from the eShop. That way I don't have to switch things over. And I'm still kind of leaning that way for a lot of games. But then I also started thinking, how many times have we bought a game, we've only played a little of it, or we beat it really quickly and really didn't feel the need to go back to it, and then it just kind of sits on our shelves. And yes, I am. My son was playing Mario Golf with me, so that's the way. I am a collector of physical media, so that's one thing. But with the N64 collection, that's a nostalgia hit for me. Same with kind of like the GameCube collection, small GameCube collection I'm building. Modern games don't have that same hit. So, for instance, Warhammer 40K 2, Space Marines 2, played it with my buddies. We played the hell out of it, and we haven't gone back to it. I own that digitally, so that's on my hard drive now. Well, I can remove it from the hard drive, but I own that technically. It's not going anywhere. I can't resell it. It's just there. I spent my $60. It's there. Or had I bought that physically, if my buddies and I weren't going to go back to the game, and I wasn't going to go back to the game on my own, I could just sell it. Yeah, if I sold it like on Mercari or eBay, I might get like $20-$25. If I went to GameStop, probably 10. But that's, you get something back, which is the advantage of the key card over just doing digital, which got me things like, oh, maybe I would get the key card. So I think for me, it would really depend on the game. Like if it's something that I know that I'm not going to like want to trade in, like I'm going to go back and play, like Mario Kart. I got the digital code for that. Mario Kart, I played it a bunch when I first got my Switch 2. Now I'm mostly playing Wind Waker when I boot up my Switch 2 though. Bowie and I were playing some Mario Golf 64 on the Switch Online together. It was a lot of fun trying to teach him how to play that because he doesn't quite grasping the A and then A. My thumbs up there. A back like rapidly to do it. He doesn't really have the dexterity to decide to help him. But it was fun to play that with him. So yeah, that's the kind of game. I'll play it a lot when I get it, and then new games will come out, stuff like that, and I'll put it down. Kind of like an evergreen game, just games you come back to, like Smash Brothers, Mario Golf, like sports titles for me, especially if it's not like a yearly franchise. I'll put it down for a bit and I'll come back to it. Those are the games I'll get digitally probably. That way, if it's going to take up space on my hard drive, I can just switch to it whenever I want, kind of thing. And I bought and got me thinking, I bought the physical copy of the Pixel remasters for the Final Fantasy 1 through 6. Sometimes I wish I just had that digitally because I'll be like downstairs playing a game and all my games will be up here. And I'm like, I want to play some Final Fantasy, but I don't want to walk all the way upstairs, kind of thing like that. So there are advantages to the digital games versus the key cards. So I think for myself, if like the game's like a maybe game, like something like I'm on the fence about, I'll either get the key card or wait for a sale in the eShop before I buy it, because I'm not a big fan of paying full price for digital games for that reason that you can't resell them. If you end up like beating it and never going back to it, or if you just you thought you'd love the game and you get it and you're just like, this is not for me. So it's always nice to have that ability to resell it, especially if it's like a newer game. You can go on eBay or Mercari and sell it for pretty close to retail value and get most of your money back, and then you can go to GameStop and get ripped off, kind of thing. So, I mean, those are kind of my thoughts on the key card debate. I do hope, as things become more abundant, that Nintendo will make cheaper carts so that the smaller games, so you don't have to buy, the third parties don't have to buy a 64 gigabyte cart, and maybe get some like 15 gigs or 10 gigs, something like that. So that way, if they've got a smaller game, they don't have to buy the big cart. They can buy the smaller cart for a cheaper price, make a physical copy, and ship it out to us. Like, that's my hope for the future. I get it. It's a new system. Nintendo is trying something new. And everyone says, like, the Switch 2 is boring, that they didn't do anything new. They did something new. They did key cards, which everyone hates. But, that's just kind of my thought on it. Hopefully, like I said, once the system's really off and running, Nintendo does offer smaller carts for third parties, so that way they can pick them up they can put physical copies out there. We don't have to worry about key cards except for like really big games, because that way it also works as like, instead of the cloud gaming that we had on Switch 1, if something's going to be over 64 gigs, you can offer the key card, so that way people can have a physical edition kind of the game, something to put on the shelves, and a cart to actually go into that case and go into your game, and then you just download it and it takes up space on your hard drive. So that's just my kind of thoughts on it. I'm not the biggest fan of key cards, but honestly, at least you can resell those and recoup some of your money if you end up not liking the game, or you just beat it really quickly and you're done with it, kind of thing like that. I haven't checked any resales yet on key cards. I doubt there's going to be too many out there, but I am curious about that. I will probably look into that and just see how much they go for, kind of thing. But let me know what your thoughts in the comments below. Do key cards kind of put you off on buying the game? If you're a physical person, do you want an actual cart that has the game on the disc or on the cartridge, and not on the internet that you got downloaded to your system? Do you not care? Are you an all digital person? Like, I don't even give a crap about cartridges at all. I'm buying all digital, that way I don't have to get up and switch my games. Boom, it's all on my hard drive. I just play. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye now.